What's up, squad? You guys have been asking me all about the Season 7 trailer. When are we going to actually see some footage? It looks like we found out when that's going to happen. First, we got to talk about what's going on and then what they did last year. Look at the way they dropped trailers, the content that they had in those. So this will be a really cool trip down WTF memory lane. Now our trailer watch begins. If you're new to the channel, I do weekly Game of Thrones videos. Be sure to subscribe to get everything. I'm even doing a giveaway right now that I'll explain at the end of the video. But the reason we haven't seen a teaser or trailer so far is just because filming has been pushed so much. But that's all going to change really soon. So HBO does a couple different things when it's teasing new seasons. We got a real brief look, like a couple frames during an HBO trailer for stuff that's coming up this spring. That included Girls, all the other TV shows that it does. They did the funny John Oliver, not a Game of Thrones trailer. Everybody was so confused by that. It was almost like a joke about them not having a Game of Thrones trailer and using that to promote John Oliver, which is a great show. I'll play that in a second. It's a funny trailer.
In 2017, HBO's biggest Sunday night show returns.
Oh, wait. Oh, I'm sorry. You meant...
Yeah, not you.
Right. Yes, just I heard your voice and I assumed...
I said biggest.
You did.
But by this time last year, we'd already seen a number of teasers and even a little bit of new footage. So what it sounds like HBO is doing is bringing their genuine first teaser to South by Southwest in March. That's happening March 12th. So it's on par with what they did last year, even though they were 2.5 months ahead of where they are this year. But there were a couple different types of teasers they released last year. The first real teaser for Season 6 was that ink is dry, three-eyed raven voiceover clip where he's basically talking about the past, not being able to change it, but being able to change the future.
We watch, we listen, and we remember. The past is already written. The ink is dry.
They have no idea what's going to happen.
Very cryptic, but even though there wasn't a lot of new footage, it conveyed a lot of information. We learned about the Jedi training that he was giving to Bran. There was a lot of theories about time travel because we knew from the books, even if they're going to be changing things, that he could still use the weirwoods to see visions of things that had happened in the past. So there were a lot of rumors about flashbacks that were happening, and this just seemingly confirmed that. Then a couple weeks after that, in January, like late January, they released the 3 banner teasers for House Stark, House Lannister, and House Targaryen.
Winterfell is mine. Come and see.
Every one of us is poor and powerless. And yet together, we can overthrow an empire.
Yevosak. Yorak mahake sonyeri. Khalesi vosi.
Really, the whole point of those was just to show the conflicts that each of those protagonists was going to face, because Cersei's still kind of a protagonist in her own story, even though she's an antagonist when you look at the other characters. You had the Ramsay pink letter teaser throwing the gauntlet down to Jon Snow. You had the Dothraki putting Daenerys down, calling her Queen of Nothing. Then you had the Faith Militant talking about the weak masses rising up and rebelling against people like the Lannisters, the people in power. So it was just a big hat tip to the battles that they were going to be happening during the season. Then about a month after that, in February, they released the Hall of Faces teaser with just the characters mocked up like they were in the Hall of Faces, they had died. All the characters that were still alive. So you were just left to wonder, who is going to die next? whose faces will be stolen. Very cool, very ambiguous, also still continuing the mystery of Jon Snow's fate, even though most of us had already made up our minds one way or another what was going to happen to him. The first real trailer, like the genuine Red Band trailer with all the crazy footage, didn't really drop till that second week in March.
Are you afraid? You should be. You're in the great game now, and the great game is terrifying.
We are sinful creatures. We deserve death. We all do.
One way or another.
So that was 2.5 months after they finished filming, so even though they've been sitting on it for a little while, they tend to wait and include stuff from all of the episodes. It's not just the first couple of episodes in that trailer. Just charting the timeline, that would mean that we might not get a version of that this year for Season 7 all the way till May, which sounds like a huge bummer, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to get teasers, get promotional material for Season 7, see footage or anything at all. They're going to be promoting it really soon. In South by Southwest is coming up in March, and even though they took the Hall of Faces exhibit to South by Southwest last year, they're bringing Sophie Turner, Maisie Williams, and both Dan and Dave for a big panel, meaning that they are going to show something off. So there will be a teaser. It might not be exactly like the Red Band trailer last year, but it'll be close. You have to remember that even at Comic-Con, they released a teaser just showing all the production stuff happening behind the scenes, showing you some of the maps, the places that the characters were going to be going. So even if there's not a ton of new footage, there's always a ton of information to pour over in the teasers that they drop. So that's probably what's going to be happening this March. So it's still a little ways off, but we are within sight of new Game of Thrones Season 7 dropping. So for all of you asking, the new season, they still haven't confirmed a premiere date, but it's likely going to be sometime in the middle, maybe even late June. They could totally choose to drop that premiere date when they're at South by Southwest. Oh, by the way, you're going to be getting all these episodes this date in June. But a lot of times that just has to do with the marketing plans behind the scenes, because there's a giant machine that pushes Game of Thrones on the world after it's done being made. So they just have to decide how they're going to market Season 7, because we know about some of the big conflicts, and they always do different things each year. The banner teasers and the Hall of Faces trailers, those were the weirdest things they did last year. So they're going to try and cook up something really cool this year, but everybody's converging on Westeros, so just expect them to hit House Stark, House Targaryen, House Lannister in the same way they did last year. When we get a little closer, I'll start doing more than just weekly bonus videos. I'll start doing at least a couple Game of Thrones videos a week. So if there are any topics that you guys want me to cover or videos that I haven't done yet, there's a lot of rumors about Arya's direwolf maybe coming back, but I'm always up in the air about rumors and stuff like that. People have been really weird about that this year. Like if something may happen, people treat it as a spoiler. So it's hard to talk about without making it sound like a spoiler. So it's hard to explain direwolves without talking about stuff that's happening behind the scenes. So you guys can let me know what kind of Game of Thrones videos you want me to do. What's going to happen next is my schedule has changed a little bit during the week, freeing up some space on Thursdays. A lot of you have been asking for a new Varys Targaryen restoration Littlefinger video, so I'll probably do something about that next. There have been some really big changes from the books and that storyline because we've moved past it, and they've cut out people like Aegon wholesale, so I'll try to explain some of those changes. But there is a new round of the book giveaway. It's just for one of the enhanced editions of the books. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this video. Congratulations to last week's giveaway winner, Richard Clark. Please private message me on the back end of my channel so I can get your contact details. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. That's going to be my Walking Dead episode later tonight. While you wait for that to post, you can click here to learn about the Jon Snow White Walker's Night King theory, and you can click here to learn all about Sansa's problems in Season 7.